Hi everyone, in this video we're going to show you how to create a 360 car photography of a car in 2021. The end result will look like something like this. The exterior 360 photo where you can move the car around, see it from different angles, hotspots with the relative photos automatically attached to appropriate spots without any need for post-processing, and a virtual background and a virtual turntable that automatically turns in from this that has the background to this, which will have a virtual background. The virtual background, the virtual studio, the virtual turntable can be fully customized to your needs based on different occasions, based on what your branding is, and it would be a great tool to have the car focus of the presentation. In addition to that, we have interior 360 photo that will be interactive, like this one. You will be able to move it around, see it from different angles, interact with hotspots that are automatically placed, taking you through the process. And you could also add what we call condition report. So if it is important as part of your presentation, you could choose to have this option or not have this option, where you can show dents and scratches of the car and disclose it to the end user, or you could keep it private for your own report keeping or potential future claims. So the report would be something like this. You will be able to document all the exterior scratches and dents and information you would like to report or disclose. And you could also do for the interior, like this one, that you could document any scratches, dents, any rips and tears of the interior of the car. So without further ado, let's get started. To do the 360 photo of the car, there is a certain hardware you would need. Here, we're gonna go over them. So the first, I'm using a iPhone 12 Pro Max Plus, I think that's the name. But any iPhone 11 or higher, or any Android phone that has an ultra wide angle would be recommended. The reason we suggest ultra wide angle, it doesn't mean you cannot do it with the other older phones, but having an ultra wide angle makes it more possible. You need less space to sort of walk around the car. So any phone, Android, iPhone that has ultra wide angle would be recommended. iPhone 11 higher, or for example Samsung S20 would be the phones that we would recommend. Obviously the newer the phone is, the end result will be much better. If our algorithm is designed, our software is designed to do automatic adjustment, automatic alignments, but what we recommend is that you use without any stabilizer. You shouldn't need any stabilizer to walk around the car to create the 360 photo. But if you use it without any stabilizer, without any gimbals, without any additional assistant, and you're not happy with the result, it's not as stable, as smooth as you like it to be, then we recommend you guys to use a gimbal, something like this. Our recommendation is a DJI Osmo 4 for so many reasons. And they should be, depends on where you live, what country you are, it should cost you around $150 US. They will help to stabilize, have a smoother movement. But again, I would recommend just use the phone, see what the result is. If you're happy with it, it would be a lot obviously faster without any external hardware. There's no mechanical issues, there is no potential of dropping the hardware, and especially if you have multiple dealerships or multiple groups, then you need less hardware in general. So to create the 360 exteriors, the way we look at it, like this one, to create this part of the presentation, the virtual tour, and the 360 photo of the car, you would only need the phone. But if you also want to create a interior 360 photo of the car, like this one, where you will be able to move it around and see it from different angles, and then you would need to have a Ricoh 360 camera on the Theta family. So it's a TETHA, I believe. And you could have a Theta V or a Theta Z1 or Z1. And the advantage for this 360 camera that should cost around $1,000 US, depends on where you live, is that it has a 1-inch sensor, it is a full screen, it has a very sensitive sensors, it's created beautiful photos entirely. It's a 7K resolution. If it doesn't fit in your budget, then you would be able to use the Theta V, which I believe you should be able to find a used one around $250 US or $500, the new one. And if none of these works, then the Ricoh Theta SC2. S like Sam, C like Charlie, number 2. That should cost around $200 a used one, or $250 to $300 new one. But obviously, the more money you can invest in this one-time purchase, the end result would significantly differs. Our recommendation is a Ricoh Theta Z1 or Z1. And on top of that, you will also need a monopod. So the monopod is to connect it to your 360 camera and be able to capture. So if you don't have this, you don't have only have a smartphone, you will still be able to create virtual tour of the car, but you will not have that interactive 360 photo like this, that you can move inside and see different things, but we'll still walk you through the interior shots, the exterior shots. We still create a complete gallery for you at the end of this, even if what you have is just one smartphone. So without further ado, let's get to the capture process. So the first step is that I will open the Glow 3D app. You could download it from Google Play or Apple Store. This screenshot you're looking at is a screenshot from an iPhone, but the Android version would be extremely similar to what you're looking at here. The first step would be to either sign up if you're new, use the Google to log in. We don't recommend the Apple because then it will limit you and you won't be able to use it from any other device. And if you already have an account, you will be able to log in. So I'm going to log in with my account. So once you log in, it will take you to your home page. Your home page probably will look different because you haven't done any capture. And the first time when you press capture, instead of taking you to the options, it will take you to what we call automotive setting. So the automotive setting is a series of settings that will help you customize this app and all the presentations to your color theme, to your website, to your brand, to the country you are. For example, if it's a left hand, right hand. If you want to use the actual turntable with this app, you can. If you want to use a walk around, you will be able to do it, and so on and so forth. We have a separate video that is going to explain all of these in very detail, and it is a very important part for you guys to look at it. You don't really need to spend a lot of time if you're just testing the platform, but when you want to get into use it as your main tool for your car and automotive digital merchandising, we definitely recommend to look at it and adjust everything to the way that fits your needs, from number of photos to what kind of lens you would like to have, how much image improvement you would like to have, what kind of background you want, and all of that. I will put the link in the description. Also, I'm putting a card somewhere in this screen that you will be able to click, and I will take you directly to the video that is dedicated to the automotive settings section. So we're going to pass that. So the first time that you click the plus at the bottom, you will choose automotive, and you choose automotive, and here the first step is to scan a VIN number of the car. So one option would be to use the OCR and scan the VIN number that typically you find in front of the lower side of windshield. So you select that, and what you would do, you will take it to this, and you will do the capture. The other option would be to use the scan barcode, and typically the barcode that has the VIN number is typically placed on the driver's side on the lower where you see here, and you will be able to scan it. So today I'm going to actually use the barcode scanner, and what I'm doing, I'll just hold it in. So once the barcode is detected, we are using a VIN decipher system that will automatically connect to the server, and it detects, for example, that this is a 2019 Volkswagen Atlas. It is a 4Motion 3.6 liter, and it also tries to detect the trim. In this screen, if you like to add more information such as kilometer, the stock number, you could do that, or you could just simply skip. If you're in a country that we do not have access to the VIN number of the cars that are manufactured in your country, this will stay clear, and you guys can complete the information either in the back end at a later time, or could just leave it empty if you're just offering the photography service, and the documenting and the information about the car is not part of your service. So now we click next. In this screen, you will choose what kind of car you're capturing. Obviously, this is SUV, so I will select SUV. And here will take me to the screen that would have to do the capture. So as you see, we'll show the outlines here. That means that I have to go to the other side. So in this side, on the right top side is where I can adjust the camera, what kind of lens I want. So typically we recommend to use the ultra wide if you don't have enough space. If you look at it in an ultra wide, typically you need from about 3 steps from the car to where you're standing. If you are, for example, using a wide angle in this iPhone 12, that means you have to go further back. If you have enough space, this option might be a better option. And reason being that you will have less perspective. So the car, if you're too close to it in a wide angle, the part that is closer to you will get bigger, and then the part for the back will get smaller. So if you do have enough space, which if you are in a, let's say, wide angle, or it's a normal camera, you would need around double of that, about 6 or 7 steps. Depends on how big the car is. You would need to be from the car to be able to walk around it. And for this tutorial, we're going to actually use ultra wide because we want to get close. And as you can see, it will give us a lot of leeway because we don't have enough space to go around. So on the left top, if the car was wrong, the type, you could fix that. On the lower left, it will show you the movement. So the green dot is you, and then you have the car, and we'll automatically detect as you go around. Obviously here you can adjust the brightness. Depends on how you like to do the photography. And then on the lower right, you will see the resolution. This is something you could set it up here, or you could set it up in the setting, because if you just do it here, it's going to be just for this one car. If you do it in automotive setting, it will happen for all the cars that you do the capture. You have these purple lines, the circle and the oval shape. So when you're capturing the side of the car, in general, you always want to have the car inside these oval shape purple line. And then if you're doing the back and front, you want to sort of have it in that circle. The idea is that always try to have the center of the car at the center of these circles and the oval shape to have the best result. Don't worry about it if you go off this oval shape. We have a couple of AI-powered algorithm that will do alignment, scaling, relocating, and sort of adjusting any movements that your hands or the car in the screen makes. And finally, you have the capture button. So you press capture, you hold your hand in position as I explained, and when you hear it go, then you start moving towards, I'll move toward the left as the arrow shows. I'll try to keep the car inside the oval shape. As I get the back, I will see these guidance that show if I'm really in a sort of a right direction. And as you see, I'm trying to keep the oval shape in center. Also try to keep the phone in balance. And again, we're going to fix a lot of things, but obviously the best is to try to have the first shot at the beginning done well. So I'll just move it around, and the moment I complete my circle, it will automatically stop. So again, it's not something that I need to basically press a stop. It will automatically stop. It will give me a very rough demo, very rough look of how this is going to be. But obviously, we'll do a lot of improvement after that. So the next screen is exterior photos. So in this section, depends on what you set up on your exterior photos in the automotive setting. Will take you through the series of options and photography options. As you see on the top, the first was to capture your VIN number. Now we did the 360 exterior. Then we're going to do the exterior photos, the 2D photos that are focused on a specific parts of the car. Then we do panoramic photo, which you would need the Ricoh camera for it. Then you're looking at the interior photos. The interior photos will show the 360 photo of the car, focused images, and then we have the exterior condition reports. So if you turn it on in the sitting, then whoever is doing the photography will get prompted to really record the condition of the car for the exterior. Then you have the interior condition report. Then you will have what we call feature report, which you could, for example, document if it's a leather seat, does it have a lane departure control, doesn't have navigation. You could turn that on and off, and we would be able to help you to document and record that as well. And at the end, you will decide to save it. If you want to have it as original format or image background or do it a virtual turntable, you will choose at the end. So it was designed, the entire system was designed around speed and simplicity. And once the management level decides how the photography has to be, then really whoever is doing the photography, they just have to follow very, very simple instructions. So now, if I'm not happy, for example, with my exterior photos, the exterior, I can back to the exterior photo. I could retake everything. It will take me back to all the way to the beginning. I can skip exterior photos. Just let's say for any reason you don't want to have any hotspot in the exterior, it's not part of your policy. As you walk around the car, we automatically create 8 photos, 8 2D photos we generate from that walk around without you really need of taking individual photos, and will look like this. So the 2 sides, 2 fronts and back, and then 45-degree angles from each side. So a total of 8 exterior photos. So now I'm going to start with the exterior photos that are more zoomed in level. And based on the settings that I had here, we have about 5 photos, which are defaults, and they all are attached to the hotspot. The little square you will see here, that the circle with the plus basically means it is going to be an active hotspot. If for any reason here says driver open door, so I'll go to the driver side. On the top right, you can see the default lens. So these default lens can be easily set up and pre-selected by the management at the stage that you're designing, and that stage of onboarding we would be able to help you to set it up. And once it is, the employees would really just have to do the photography, and they don't need to take any action. We have automatic HDR technology that on a day like this where you have a high balance, we try our best to have the contrast adjusted. Here we have the zoom option. So it is set up by ultra wide. If I need to change it, I can definitely change it for this one photo, but I'm going to keep it like that for this. You can take portrait, you can take landscape. Here the image, we're showing it as a landscape, so I just want to follow the sample. I could adjust individual brightness contrast here, or I can keep it the way it is. So the goal is that once the management set it up, the person that does the photography, they really point and shoot. That's it. Here, as you see, the butterfly sign is a Glow 3D filter that you will adjust in the setting. Automatically improves the quality of the image and the quality of the photo that you're taking. And now I go next. The next at the lower side in this section, as you see here, it says rear seat open door. So now I'm going to actually open the rear seat. I do the capture, and I'm happy with the result. So I can see that on the top I have the sunroof open. That's part of I have this this very big contrast. I'll go to the next one. So by mistake right now, as you see, I just captured something, so I'm going to retake it. So now this is the open hood. Now I'm at the panoramic photo. So the panoramic photos for a 360 photo of a car is the interior side. So we have 2 different kind of 360 photo. One is the outside where the car is in center and you move around the car. And then in this stage, we have panoramic 360 photos, which means the camera is going to be in the center of the car, and you sort of look around and look at the car, and that's sort of exterior 360 photo of a car, and then you have the interior 360 photo of a car, and they're all combined together. So to do the interior 360 photo, you have to connect the camera, and that's where this 360 camera will become handy. One very important note before we go any further in this is that the 360 cameras, they all have a software. As you can imagine, any hardware also has, to some extent, has some softwares. So it is very important that you guys update the firmware, the software for this hardware, for this camera that is coming from manufacturer from Ricoh itself. I'm adding a card here, and I'm also adding the link in the description on a completely separate video that I will explain how to connect this to your computer and how to update the firmware on this. It is very, very important that whenever you purchase it, before you do your first capture, you update the firmware, the software basically of this hardware, which is called firmware. So you update the firmware to make sure it is the most updated. I've already done it. You can look at the search, look at this description and find the link that will guide you through it, or hopefully there will be a card somewhere here that will guide you through how to update the firmware of your 360 camera. So now with that said, I'm going to show you how to set up and how to connect your 360 car photography panoramic camera to the phone in this stage. So to capture the 360 photo of the car interior, we go to connecting the camera and the app to capture the interior 360 photo of the car. So I have this camera here, which is a Teta Z1 or Z1, and you can see on the right side, so there are 4 options, and I'll just turn it on. When you turn it on, the first thing that will happen, there will be a connection status that is ways to connect. And when you here in the app do camera, you do Wi-Fi settings, it will take you to the Wi-Fi. It will take you to the Wi-Fi, and here I will use Teta version. So on the top, you will see the name of it and a series of number, which is the password that you would like to have. And if you don't have it for any reason there, or you can't find it, at the lower side of the camera on the left side, you have YN, a series of numbers. That's forget about the YN, but the numbers is what you want to put here. So I'm going to go ahead. For this specific camera is 341000534, and I'll say join. For yours is definitely something else. And once this is connected, you will see a check mark appears on the left side, and that means the mobile app and the camera is connected. The connectivity of the 360 camera for car photography is with the Wi-Fi, local Wi-Fi network. In some cases like this one, if the connectivity doesn't happen, you just need to select the second button again. It will start repairing, like turning off. You press it one more time and it starts repairing, and all you have to do is just come out, do the Wi-Fi again, and just select it one more time, and this time connected. Because as I was explaining, there is just a certain time that you have to connect these. Now that it's connected, I will go back to my iPhone and I click reconnect, and that's where I have the phone. So now that I have the connection, it is very important to check the filter on the lower middle, on the left middle side, and it has to be on HDR rendering. If it is not on HDR rendering, definitely put it on HDR rendering. And the reason is that as you do the car photography, you will have areas that have a high contrast, and you would like to be able to have the HDR technology to really manage it. The Z1 or the Z1 does an amazing job for this matter. So when you are doing the photography, typically you have a button at the back. That's where the button that, like any other camera, you would push to capture. But we're not going to use this one. So you have to use the button, the red button that is here on the mobile app on the lower right side, but this will help you to show where is the front and where is the back of the camera. So typically where you see the screen, or even if you don't have the screen, where you see that button, that means that's the back of the camera. Like any other camera, where you actually have the button to capture is typically the back, and then this side is the front where you have the logo. So that's the front. That's the part that has to be to the front of the car. So what you typically want to do is to have this in the same level as an eyesight. So I will put this up where if somebody sits in a car would see. I'll put it in the middle here, and I'll make sure I have it face to the front. The rest of the items you can really adjust it later, but if you want to do it like a really good job, the best thing is to have these guidelines, this plus in the middle, and make sure you have that in the middle of the dashboard, and then you have the horizontal line figure it out. Once everything seems okay, so I will close the door, and I will try to go to the blind spot. So the blind spot typically for a car for this SUV would be at this spot that I will be less visible. And then I'll click on the lower right, I'll click the capture. It's going to do the process. If you see on the top, it says front seat. That means it is doing the photography of the front seat. And after a little bit of processing, it will bring me to the screen where I have to do the lineup. So this is a very important stage. So you want to it doesn't have to be 100%. So what I would suggest is that the steering wheel is the most important part. And it's good that this happened. If you look at the steering wheel is not straight horizontally. I'm going to retake it, and I'll explain to you why it is very important to retake it. When we put the hotspots, it's important to have your steering wheel sort of a straight up. So to fix that, I will just turn on the car, and I will actually turn this. So it is very important that you always have this straight, because when we apply the hotspot, it would go to the right place. Now I'm going to turn it off again. And it is good that this happened, because hopefully you don't make the mistakes that I did. So I'll come back here. Now with that in place, I'm going to actually go to the blind spot again and do another capture of the front seat. One of the benefits of our platform is that we give you an option to add more hotspot. For example, for a 7-seater like this, you would also be able to do the back of the car. And here we are going to now do the adjustments. So the steering wheel is the important part where we're going to adjust it, and I make sure the overall width also at the end of the dashboard on the passenger side, it makes sense. It doesn't have to line up 100%, as long as we have it reasonably close to this guideline. I'll just click next, and I'm done. So in the panoramic section, I just did the front, but you can do undercarriage as well as a 360 photo at the back. So if you would like to do any of these, you would turn it on in the automotive setting, and then the camera will prompt you to go take the one in the back. I'm not going to go over it, but it's the exact same process. If you're doing undercarriage where it is ask you, for example, the front undercarriage and the back undercarriage, you simply just have to have this. The monopod is a very good option, because then you could really raise it, and you keep it vertical like this, and you just put it under the car, and then you use the mobile app to click the capture. You could easily put it on the ground. There would be no issue with it, and then you press the captures, and that will give you the 360 view of the undercarriage of the car. It might be important for classic cars, for insurance purposes. Some auction houses might have this as a feature that would disclose how the undercarriage looks like, which is something that you would not even be able to really see it as well if you were doing a physical inspection of the car. So once that is done, now we go to the interior photos. There's a lot of options for interior photos, and we're done with this. So you could leave it, and most of them automatically turn off. But for now, I'll just click the power button. I will turn it off, because we're done with the panoramic photo. And now we go to the interior photos. So for the interior photos, depends on what you set up in your automotive settings section for your 360 car photography. You will be able to see the guidelines of what needs to be captured. So here I have entertainment center. Again, I'll explain the overall is very much like the exterior, and the way it would work here on the top right, you have what kind of type of camera it is. Again, you can use and choose this default lens for it so that your staff don't have to really decide what is the right lens. You've already decided that for them. You can also do zoom if needed. You could adjust even brightness, contrast if you need it. You could do it now before the capture. You could do it after the capture. It will show what they have to capture in Entertainment Center. It will show that where they have to do the capture, how it has to look like, and really all they have to do is follow instructions. So for this, I will take the entertainment section. For example, one of the photos could be navigation. So we have that option. If you turn it on the automotive setting, it will prompt them to really capture that. But here we have 13 interior 2D photos. One very important fact is that as you do the 360 photography panoramic capture, we automatically generate 4 wide angle photos. You couldn't even get it with a professional DSLR camera. That one will cover the entire front. It will look like this. One will cover the front, one will cover the back, and 2 will cover the sides. So let's say you just do an exterior walk around and you just capture panoramic and you don't do any other 2D photography. Not only will it give you a complete virtual tour that people can move around the car from exterior and see 360 photo of the car from outside, it would also be able to see the 2D photos. So total 13 2D photos automatically generate from the virtual tour that you try to make. So that's something that is extremely important time saver and makes you capture a car in, let's say, under 2 minutes. So our platform, again, is designed around the fact that we want something that is much easier, much faster than your current solution, and it will give you 10 times, 100 times better experience for you as a photographer, as well as your end user, the person that wants to buy the car. So now I'll go through the photography meter console top view. It's wide angle and it's top view. Let's say if I want to change that to, for whatever reason, to the ultra wide, so I'll change it to ultra wide. I'll bring it back to wide. If I need to zoom in, I'll zoom in. But I think I'm happy with this, so I'm taking this. It looks good. I'll go to the next. The next is condition report, and now I'm going to start the condition report. So it depends on what kind of car you have. If it's an SUV in this case, or if it is a different car, you will see a different outline here. And I'll start with what I'll see a little bit dent here. I'm using this sort of magnetic ruler, but you can definitely use whatever you need as a pointer, so it can help people to understand the scale. And I know it's here, so I am going to select that. You could put what location, which means what part of the car it is, the description, what kind of scratch it is. For example, you can tell them how much it costs to repair it, or any other disclosure factor. And you can tap on the photo and you will be able to sort of attach a photo to it. And we say use the photo. We also have an option that you could add a video, because sometimes some of the scratches and dents are not visible in a photo. So you could choose, instead of a photo, attach a video to that hotspot that shows. Now I'm going to save that. Now I'm going to sort of walk around and see what it is. Just for the sake of this video, I will have some scratches along the line here. So I'm going to just put this just as a way of showing, and I'm going to actually tap at the back. I will tap on the camera here, and I'll do something that is a little bit zoomed out, right? So I can sort of cover the entire width, and I'll take the photo and I'll say use it. So I'll did this 2 samples, but again, if you have more, it's as easy as that. You just tap and you do it. If you can tap on the 3 dots and change the color, edit the content, But when I'm done with this, now we do the interior reports, and let's say for the interior reports, we just come here. Again, the same story. We have the select. Let's say on the driver's side, we had an item. Let's say this was a tour. So I will just put this in here, so there's a sort of a understanding of scale. It's the driver's side, so I'll tap on it, and I can easily zoom in. So just a light, and let's say take photo. And the same thing, if it wasn't good, I could easily retake it, and now I will save it. So now that I finished with this section, if you like to, for any reason, add the feature report, then that's where the feature report comes in, and I'll do the feature report. If you look at the feature report, so we have it in 3 different sections: comfort and luxury, entertainment, and safety. You can, by tapping on the photo, you could assign a photo to that specific feature, which will show in the gallery. You would be able to turn on, that means, for example, this car has a leather seat. If I want to attach a photo to it, I could easily come in and attach a photo to the leather seat and say, use this photo. As you see, it adds the photo to where the leather seat is, and we'll save it. Then for entertainment, the same thing. So if it has touch screen, Bluetooth, voice control, and then if it has safety, the same thing, it will be on. One of the things our platform does, as far as it can detect from deciphering the VIN number, it will automatically turn on these features. So your staff doesn't have to figure things out or use another software. So whatever that we can decipher from the VIN number, we'll turn it on automatically. And obviously you can turn it off if you think it is not correct, or if you can't verify it, but that's another big time saver. And once we're done with all the features, we'll just say done, and it takes us to the last screen, which is probably the most important screen and one of the biggest features of our platform. On the top right, the horizontal elements, that's where our privacy section is. So you could choose if you want to keep it private. That means we'll just keep it on a platform. It doesn't get published. It won't be public. Nobody will see it. And you guys can add more information, or for whatever reason you don't want it, the car is not ready for sale, then you wouldn't put it on. If you choose that it is public, that means it will be syncing in the first opportunity that our platform connects to your backend inventory or the third-party inventory management. It will actually sync automatically with what it has. And then the second is that what kind of effect do you want? So do you want the original, means the original of what we captured? Do you want the auto alignment, which is what we definitely recommend? We don't recommend use the original unless you've sort of, everything else is not useful. So because the original is a sort of a raw capture, it's really not useful for the public. So we typically suggest auto alignment. Virtual turntable, as you see on the right side, you can see in the video about automotive setting for 360 car photography in the automotive settings section. In detail, I will explain to you, and I'll put the link again in the description, as well as a card here that will explain to you how does the automotive works, and towards the end of it, we'll have the virtual turntable. And you can see what are the options, how you can change it, how you could customize it, add your brand, add your slogan, logo, and everything to it. But you could also do it here, say change setting, and I will take you to this screen. This screen, you would have to go to our video that is dedicated to that. Once you could use that, or use an image background, or use a blur background, which would blur the background, or you could just use a white background. In our experience, the virtual turntable and auto alignment is the most popular platform because it gives people the attention the car deserves. Many people don't like the white background. It's sort of floating in the air, and you just click save. And once you click save, it will go to the home page, and it will start uploading the process. Now, we're gonna wait a little bit for the process to be complete, and I'll come back to you to show you what is the next step, where can you see it, and how you can integrate it. Thank you for watching. So once you completed the capture, we'll take your model through extensive process of background removal, auto alignment, auto scaling using artificial intelligence. We also improve the image qualities using AI, and we assign the pictures to hotspots, and then we assign hotspots into the 360 photo. If you've chosen a certain background or a virtual turntable, we apply the virtual turntable to it. To see how it looks, you could access it through a mobile app, or you could also access it from web to have the controller. Go to glow3d.net and log into your account, and in your account it takes you to your homepage. In your homepage you have the list of all the cards. You will also have access to a list feature. You could also use the search function, or you could look at it from the cards. When you roll over, it will give you all the options that you can have for your 360 photo. So in this sample, we have a virtual turntable. As you see, we automatically place a virtual turntable. The image of the background can be completely changed to anything you like. It could be the actual photo of the exterior of your dealership, something like this, or it could be the photo of the interior of your dealership. We also have nearly 40 photos that you could use as the virtual background. You could add your logo similar to what we have here. You could add a slogan at the middle, and you could have another image banner at the bottom. That could be anything. This is perfect if you guys have a promotion, or let's say for a certain holiday, and you would like to give your entire platform a theme of that holiday or theme of that special. You could use this opportunity as your virtual studio or virtual turntable. We automatically, as you see, will automatically assign all the hotspots. We automatically assign all the names that are relative to this. We automatically assign the hotspot. If you see these icons and the colors are completely customizable, and you can change them to any color and any icon you would like to have. Once you embed this into your website, we automatically add a gallery set at the bottom here, and we automatically place the 360 photo. You do have the option to add the watermark or hide it. You do have the option to zoom in, and we'll give you gallery, interior photos, and conditioned photos, for example, showing you scratches and dents if you have captured it. If you have not captured it, then that will not be visible on your website or on your customer's dealership's website. And we have automatic integration. Again, automatic integration. So all you have to do is really capture the VIN number, capture the car, and we will match the VIN number with your inventory management and with your actual website to automatically place all of this. So really the goal is that you just go around the car, you capture the 360 photo, and we take care of everything else. Also in the gallery, we're going to show all the actual exterior photos. We automatically generate 8 photos for you out of that walk around, and we automatically generate photos from that panoramic view, interior panoramic view, something like what you see here. These image qualities are super wide angle, something that you can't even get it with a DSLR camera. So with your phone alone, you are creating an experience that even a professional photographer could not use it. Or if you're a professional photographer, this is something completely new that you could offer as a differentiated factor. You could separate different tabs just to look at the exteriors or interiors, or the scratches and dents if the option is there. Or you could basically move into the 360 photos. All these hotspots that you see are automatically placed. There is no post-processing. A very big advantage of our platform is that the post-processing amount is 0. It's not just minimal, it is 0. There is no post-processing. For the background, you do have the option to upload your logos or text, which we have a separate video dedicated to how you could adjust your background removal or virtual background photo and edit it. I'll put it somewhere in here in the screen. You should see a card pop up, as well as I will put it in the description, where you guys can look for the virtual turntable background adjustment. You could go further, and if you are other than English language, if you would like to have a different color, you will be able to change all of that to completely sync and match and integrate with your website and with your color theme and with your brand.
We have many languages available as of now, and we are keep adding those languages. And that means if you are in a country, let's say Spanish country, everything here will be in line with that. People that are looking at it, that will see everything in your local language. And that means it will be fully customizable. So to summarize, even if you just do exterior walk around and do one panoramic, we automatically create 8 photos, and we automatically create the actual 4 interior shots. So 13 2D photos automatically beautifully are created and will be synced to your inventory management. Obviously, the more photography you will do, the more complete your photography and database will be, and it will automatically again sync to your inventory management. So in the web, you have many different options. You could copy the link, you could actually generate a QR code, and these QR codes can be placed or emailed. You could basically have the embed section, you could share them directly to social media. You are able to generate a GIF or GIF. You could generate MP4 video, you could download single frame, you could download multiple frame, you can download old images and all the frames. And let's say for any reason you don't like the angle, you would like, let's say, this to be a default angle. For example, here you could easily do that, and now every time that you load, this would be the default photo. And I will bring this back now. The other very big advantage is that if during the capture you had any information added, you will be able to see it here. The function of albums that will allow you to have albums for, let's say, a special of the week, a special of the month, or you could separate them with SUVs and sedan cars or any other functions will be available. And once you go in, one of the beautiful functions is that you would be able to basically generate a QR code. This QR code could be printed on business cards, could be printed on social media, so people can just literally scan that and it will bring them to your virtual showroom. So this is the opportunity to create a virtual showroom that people can interact with it. We have a Facebook app that automatically integrates the 360 photos into Facebook. It will create a Facebook virtual showroom. We have videos about that. I highly encourage you to look at our YouTube channel, where we have, I believe, over 100 videos about different features we have, from social media integration, virtual showrooms, changing backgrounds, adding custom content. With that said, thank you so much for watching. If you like, we would encourage you to subscribe to our channel, as we upload a video once a week and we talk about different tricks and tips on how to capture 360 photos, not just for cars. We also cover other contents too, but I will also help you to have the best and the fastest way of doing it. Also, I encourage you that if you wish to learn more about it, to contact us or visit our website to book a demo, or contact us at info@glow3d.com, and we would be happy to set up a demo exclusive to you, go over your needs, and offer custom solution to your company. We also have great partnership programs. If you're a photographer or you're thinking that this might be an opportunity for you, I also encourage you to contact us, book a demo, reach out to us, and we'll be happy to work with you as a partner on introducing this amazing software to people that can help their businesses and help their company grow. With that said, thank you for watching. Have a good day.